Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking, and don't you know the waiting room is already full. We had to kick some people out so I could get in to start the show. Ain't no show if I'm not there. Episode 437 of the Immigration Answer Show. We're 1/3 of the way to 500 from 400. Just so everybody knows, I might be under the influence. I got dental work done today, so I had Novocaine I got 2 fillings, and then after that, I went and got drops in my eyes so they could check out my eyes. So I can't really read anything. I saw that this is episode 437, but this should be a fun show. So yeah, let's get to it. Thanks for joining me at the special time, 2:30. I guess we're going to do a show tomorrow. Julio, what time is the show tomorrow? This is episode 437. Remember, we got our viewer of the month going. If you want to win a prize, please fill out our 2-question survey. And we're going to have to get this show started with some really good news with one of our OG members. She has some news to share. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good, Rocio. How are you doing?
Good. As of yesterday at 9 a.m., I am a new U.S. citizen.
Congratulations.
We made it. I have a busted knee. I twisted my knee over the weekend. So it was very funny because they said, okay, if you're able to stand up, please do so. And I tried, but I didn't want to miss it. The judge congratulated me and she said, oh, you even came with the walker. And I said, I would crawl if I had to.
Aren't you glad you don't have to worry about this stuff anymore?
And you know what? I got the feeling of like yesterday when I got home, like the ceremony they said it was at 8, but it didn't start until 9. So yeah. I got home at 11 and then, I was looking at the certificate and then I thought, wait, is that it? I had the feeling of like, I don't know, it feels like surreal. But yeah, I mean, it was 250 people at Columbus, Ohio.
Wow, that's a big ceremony.
Yeah, and my advice, if you have anybody from Columbus, Ohio, don't invite families to the ceremony if they do it at the museum, because the families were separated in a different room. Nobody was able to, they weren't like streaming it or anything. So, yeah.
That's too bad.
Yeah, and but yeah, they had somebody that was 88 years old becoming a citizen. So I thought that was so cool.
That's great.
And yes, and now I'm looking into becoming a paralegal because I'm done with my immigration journey, but I would love to help like other people.
You should be an immigration paralegal and work at Hacking Immigration Laws. I think I told you that before.
I would love to do it. I mean, I'm a teacher and I don't want to quit my teaching job because I love it. But I also think that, I would love to do 751s and then 400s. They're fun. They're easy to do. So, yeah, and you were the first one actually to receive the picture of me with the flag. So
I love it. Thanks so much.
Thank you for everything you do for immigrants. Thank you to you and your family. You are a blessing to this community. And I wanted to tell you that. Thank you, because some of us cannot really afford an attorney. And this is a great resource. So thank you to Hacking Immigration Law. Thank you all who made the film. Like, I think Julia and all the paralegals and Andrew, I've talked to him on the phone. I've talked to you, Amani. I want to see Amani again on the show. So you got to bring her.
Okay.
And please tell her that I'm a citizen.
I will. Thanks, Rocio. Congratulations.
Bye-bye.
Don't be a stranger.
No, I'm not. I'm sticking around.
See ya. Oh, wow. Well, that's just good news. That's good news all around. I remember I think she started watching the show even before her 751, or maybe right when she filed the 751. So that's exciting. We love to see people's immigration journeys, and we always like it when they end up with people becoming U.S. citizens. We're on a project to try to help 10,000 people become U.S. citizens, and I think it would be very fair of us to include Rocio as somebody that we helped. So she helped us too to get a little bit closer to our goal of getting to 10,000 new U.S. citizens by the end of 2030. Ziad is here. Hello, Ziad.
Hello, Jim. I don't have any questions. I just want to say thank you because I got approved yesterday for my green card, and thanks to you and to your show, I just want to thank you so much, and I want to deliver a message that I trusted you and I trusted your show, and eventually, um, with the blessing of my wife, it drove me here. So I just wanted to thank you so much.
Ziad,
And
congratulations, and thanks for saying thank you.
thank you. I just like wanna say if I might like be in contact with you so that you can handle just like my I-751 when it comes to that time.
That'd be great.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ziad. Have a great day. Boy, it's a lot of love today on the old show. It's making me feel good. It's making me feel good. Everybody's happy for Rocio. Everybody's happy for Ziad. It's good news all around. Now, let's see what Manish has to say. Hello, Manish.
Yeah, hi, Jim. So in 2015, I had a site visit for an H-1B amendment, which was ultimately denied. I transferred my H-1B to a new employer.
Hold on. Slow down. Why was it denied?
So they asked some questions in the interview, and then I honestly replied to it. They misinterpreted my questions, my answers, and then they later on sent me, I think, 7 or 8 pages denial letter. And
What do you mean they misinterpreted your answers? What are you talking about?
so basically, whatever I was saying, which was not matching with the application in the H-1B, and so that's what they sent me, the employer-employee relationship kind of denial.
Why did that happen?
So it happened because I moved from New Jersey to California, and then my employer applied for an amendment, and then I don't know what happened exactly. It was the first H-1B from the employer side, so they misinterpreted some answers, and then they ultimately denied and like sent me the denial letter for the H-1B. So I
did they hold on. There's got to be a conversation. If you just talk,
Yeah,
I'm not going to be able to get clarity. Did they say that you or the employer committed some kind of fraud, or did they just not?
Yeah. So if I tell you the whole question, then you'll understand.
Go ahead.
So what happened? They sent me the denial, and I changed to a new employer. So my new petition was approved. Everything was fine. So in 2018, my mom passed away, so I had to travel to India. I went to the embassy for the H-1B visa, and then they denied under 6CI, 212A 6CI, and then they didn't told me any reason about that. So I was just scrambling around to understand why they denied, what was the reason. They didn't give me any reason. It took me 18 months to figure out who has stopped me. So after that, attorney told me to sue DHS. So I later on sued the DHS, and then later on DHS removed that inadmissibility finding on my case. And then after 3.5 years, I came back to US on a new petition filed by new employer on H-1B. Now, frequently at the airport, I'm asked to come to the secondary inspection, and then it's all good now. So I am with a new employer. Everything seems to be fine. So last year, my new employer filed an adjustment of status application. Now I got an interview request for in this year in May 2018. I successfully went through the interview, and everything seemed to be fine at that point. And then in July of this year,
hold on. So on the 45, there's a question: have you ever given any documents or information to U.S. government officials that was false, fraudulent, or misleading? Did you put yes or no?
No,
You
I didn't. I didn't put any false documents.
I'm not saying that you did. I'm just asking, how did you answer that question? You said
So,
no.
Yes.
Okay. Keep going.
So what happened after the interview in July this year? After 2 months of the interview, I got another site visit on AOS, and so I denied any question answers. I told them that I want to be have my attorney present if you want to interview me, and then they went away. So after that, now after the interview, they provided me a slip for the review for 120 days review, and those 120 days has already passed on September 8th. So now I'm concerned that shall I sue them again for the harassment or like monetary compensation, because in the whole ordeal in the last 4 or 5 years, I have lost more than $600,000 in total in attorney fees and all the other costs. So I'm a little bit like stressed what should I do?
Has anybody ever done a Freedom of Information Act request for your file?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What was in there about the old denial? What
There
did they say?
there was nothing. There was nothing. No investigation. Nothing happened over there.
Which field office?
With CBP, with USCIS, with DHS, and the Department of State.
Sorry, I meant which field office had your green card interview or the site visit?
So green card into field office was the San Francisco one, but now it is pending in San Jose in California.
Okay. So after USCIS came for the site visit and you said, I don't want to talk to you without my attorney, and they left, have you had any interaction with them since then? Was that before the interview or after the interview?
After the interview.
Okay. So have you had any kind of interaction with them since then?
So I called my previous attorney, and then they asked me to submit the G28, and then they sent the new G28 to them, and nothing happened after that.
But as far as if they were wanting to have a conversation, that conversation never happened.
Yes. So they didn't ask me for a new interview. They didn't send me any RFE. Nothing happened after that.
Well, I mean, I think suing them will get a decision on your case. I just don't know what the decision would be. I haven't looked at the file. I think I can get you a decision. I don't know if it'd be an approval or denial. There's probably some things I'd want to ask you off camera specifically about what, and I don't want you to answer this right now, whether you feel like you did anything wrong that first time round, or if you think you didn't do anything wrong, then I'd feel a lot more confident about suing them. If that's not the case, then I'd be a little bit worried. But I'm pretty sure. What's the receipt date on the 485?
What is the what?
What is the receipt date on your I-45?
August 1st, 2022.
Oh, so it's just been a year.
Yes. What did they say when you said you didn't want to talk to them without your lawyer? So I when they came to, I let them in, and I told them I want to talk to you in front of the camera with the video recorded session, so that I should have a proof, whatever the discussion we're going to be having today. So they denied that request. Then I asked them to have a transcript of whatever they are writing of the interview. They denied the transcript, the copy of the transcript as well. So after that, I told them that if you're not giving me the transcript, if you're not have this interview recorded, then I will not be able to speak with you. And then I want to have my attorney present before this interview can move forward. So after that, they left.
So it sounds like if you sue them, they probably want you to come in for another interview. When the site visit was at your place of work or at your house?
House.
Did they actually ask you any questions, or did it all stop? Like
I stopped them. They asked me, first question was the ID. I handed off my ID to them, and then after that, I requested for an recorded session, which they denied.
Okay, great. So what are your questions for me?
So just wanted to understand, like, if I sue them and if I change my employer now, because I'm on an EAD right now, and if my 485 is denied, so can I again go back to the using the I-140 to go back on H-1B status, or what will happen?
Well, I-140 doesn't have anything with your H-1B. What's the status of your H-1B? Has it expired? Is it still?
Yeah, I'm still on H-1B. I've not used the EAD.
Yeah, so you would remain on your H-1B.
No, but that is going to be expiring soon in December. So let's say if I switch to another employer by filing J supplement, and later my 485 gets denied, so can I use the same I-140 to go back to H-1B?
No, that's not how it works. You got to keep the H-1B alive. If I were you, you should be thinking about, and I'm not your lawyer, but generally I'd be thinking along the lines of renewing the H-1B.
Okay.
And then suing, so that you at least have the H-1B in your back pocket, not using the EAD.
Okay. And do you recommend to sue them again, because it's all past 120 days and past 1 year?
I think they're not going to give you a decision unless you sue them, it sounds like, or unless you talk to them. One of those two things. Like, so after, when you were mentioning about the G28, you're saying that your lawyer sent a letter to the field office that came to interview you and said, hey, we're ready to talk, and here's my G28?
Yes, but nothing is happening after that.
Yeah, so you're probably gonna have to sue him whenever you're ready.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye, Manish. See you, buddy.
Yeah. Bye.
All right, Joel's here. Hello, Joel.
Hi, Jim. I'm going to start with some good news, and that is that my wife just received her notice for her oath ceremony.
Nice.
Despite the fact that we still haven't gotten a ruling on her I-750 on her 751.
That means it's approved.
Okay, good. Thank you. But I'm so glad that you're doing a show today, because as we were preparing for her daughter, who's in Thailand, I noticed on the website that her case status was changed from IR2 to F11. I'm a little bit concerned about the age topic with her. We filed and then we stopped and then we refiled. I think the dates are correct for all of this, but
you're saying you think she? You're saying you think she didn't age out?
I think I think that she's qualified to not have aged out. Yeah, but
how old was she when you two got married?
When we got married, she was 17.
Okay, and then
and that was in 2018.
When did you file the second I-130?
We only did one I-130. We didn't do a second one.
What do you mean you started and stopped it?
The case didn't stop. They just came up to us after, a little over a year and said, we have some requests, and the letter said, we have not heard from you, but you can have in a year. So when I logged in the same day, it somehow gave me a 1-year extension, and that was in 23. That was in February of 23. So then
the National Visa Center?
I'm sorry?
The National Visa Center?
Yeah. So it said that I got a note back on February of this year saying the case has been reinstated. And I believe it said IR2 at that time when we checked her files. So we paid the 2 fees again, the immigration fee and the AOS fee. Did another application of support, another 864. Did another DS-260. And so now she's scheduled for an interview in October 2nd. And I just noticed this status change, so I'm a little bit nervous. We've updated documents also in the meantime.
What's the priority date on the I-130 that you filed?
It is 8/5/2020.
And 8/5/2020, she was what, 19 or 20?
Yeah, she was still 19.
I think you're okay.
Even if it says F11, she's going to be going into this, as a Thai person in Bangkok doing this. She has nobody with her.
Sure. Yeah, she's going to have to be able to advocate for herself, and you might want to do an analysis in writing of why the CSPA protects her, because there might be something in their system that converted her, and when that happened, I mean, the fact that she's having her interview at all tells me that they're still considering her an immediate relative.
Oh, okay.
Because if she were being treated as the adult child of a green card holder or of a U.S. citizen, I should say, because you filed the I-130, then I think you did. Did you file the I-130 or did your wife?
We filed it we filed it together here.
But only one person's name is on it. Who's the petitioner, you or your wife?
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah, because that keeps her immediate relative, right? So what that means is her age should have frozen and she should be okay. But listen, this is not a simple case.
Yeah,
there's going to need to be some advocacy. I would say you probably need a legal brief explaining the whole timeline and citing the law and explaining why she did not age out. They might cancel that interview.
Because I just noticed the name change today, so I think
and they might cancel it on the day of. So you just got to be ready for anything. But to me, that makes it even more important to start working on a chronology and a brief explaining why she's a U.S. or why she's the underage child of a U.S. citizen, i.e., an immediate relative.
Okay, so should we try to find an attorney here who specializes in consulate stuff? Or?
Oh, we do a lot of that stuff. We could do it. Sure.
Oh, okay. I think I might want to I want to do that, and I also would want to train her a little bit. I mean, this is coming up in a couple of weeks, but
I think that's good. And I think we also want to send her armed with a brief.
okay.
Yeah, just send an email to the office. They won't know what to do about it, but just say Jim said it's okay, and this is something that you guys could help with, and then you could tell them send it to me, and I'll tell people what to do, or I'll ask for help from the right people.
Okay, great. Good. I'm so glad you did the show, and I happened to get that text. I'm very grateful to you.
Thanks, Joel. See you, buddy.
All right, thank you.
Congrats to your wife.
Yes, that's the good news. Yep.
It is good news. RFE2 is here. What do you say, RFE2?
Hi, Jim. Nice to be here again. Yesterday, I went for my second interview, and I spent like 3 hours with the officer asking me questions.
3 hours?
I'm telling you, I went in the office 8:15. I got out 12:30. He started asking me about, because I'm from Congo, but before I come to United States, I was living in South Africa. So he started asking me the questions from South Africa, how I got there, I was living there, and from there, because he doesn't trust my marriage, because I came from with a DV lottery, me and my spouse.
Who won the DV, you or her?
My spouse, my wife, my ex.
Oh,
So
this is, I can see what. So okay, so first question: did you get married before she won the lottery or after she won the lottery?
Yeah, after she won the lottery. But when she played, we were married, because on the application she put me as a spouse, and I play also mine. I put her as a spouse just to increase the chance.
But were you already married?
Yes, we were married, but we didn't have a marriage certificate.
So then you weren't married.
Yes, okay, I can say that we're not married. Yes.
So to be clear, then what we're talking about is you guys listed spouses on your DV lottery applications, despite the fact that you had not been legally married.
No, we got married in 2010, but we apply for we send we apply for the marriage certificate in 2010, but we played the DV lottery in 2011, but we received our marriage certificate in 2013.
Why?
That's where
Why did it take 3 years to get a marriage certificate?
Because we didn't do the follow-up. In Africa, it's not like here you go one day you get it. No. So we didn't do the follow-up to get it.
Okay, so at least there's an argument though that you had not completed all the legal requirements of a marriage in Congo. They at least have that argument.
In South Africa? That's where we got married.
Sorry, South Africa. Yeah.
Yeah, he asked me a lot of questions. Why did you wait 3 years to get the marriage certificate?
Yeah.
Then I explained that we filed the marriage. We went to court to get the marriage certificate, but the marriage certificate didn't come on time.
Okay, let's keep going.
And then he told me straight away that, you know why I'm asking all these questions? Because I don't trust this marriage. Can you prove it? How can I prove it?
Just so you know, in the world of DV lottery, the number one issue on their radar are people playing games with marriage to get 2 green cards for the price of 1, right?
Okay.
All right, so let's keep going.
And then he asked me, you can prove this marriage. And then I asked him, how can I prove it? And then he said, you can show me the pictures. When you were living there together, did you have like a list? Then I said, yeah, but I don't have a list from South Africa. I'm here now, because here now we are divorced. We divorced in 2015. Now we say, okay, here, do you have a proof that you were living together here in the United States? Then I say, I don't have a proof, because we don't live together, we are divorced. I don't have access to her stuff. What kind of proof do you need? He said, where you were living, at least she was receiving the mails. Then I say, yes, she was receiving, but I don't have those mails. How can I get those mails?
What's the day that you landed in America?
I entered America 2013.
And when did she enter America?
We entered together.
And did you live together in 2013?
Yes.
Where?
We had an apartment
Where?
here in Denver.
And did you go back to the leasing agent and ask for a copy of the lease?
I went there. Those people, they sold the property. Now I found a new management. I even told him, I told the officer. And the officer said, those people, they can write a letter saying, we don't have we are new management. We don't have we don't have access to the old record. And then I just come from there. They wrote me a letter. They say, okay, we bought this property in 2018, so we don't have access to the years prior this.
Okay.
So they give.
Let's keep going. Keep going. I'm listening.
Yeah, I just got that one day. Now they say, okay, I asked me, I can send him the tax transcript because it seems like I was not getting enough money. I was not claiming enough money. He said like in 2017, I claimed like 5,000. I don't know that. So I asked those transcripts from 2014. But from 2014, I filed with my wife, my ex. So she will be on my tax for 2014. So, and those are the proof that he needs me to. Okay, he says he's gonna send me a request for evidence. I haven't received the letter yet, but he told me before I leave the office yesterday.
And I guess you're applying now for citizenship. Is that what is on the table right now?
Correct.
Okay.
And after we finish everything, and then he called his colleague. He gave me everything that we're talking. I read, I make initial next to it. I sign, he sign, and the witness sign it.
Wait, this is like a typed up statement. This is the question. This is the answer. This is the question. This is the answer.
Correct.
Did they give you a copy of that?
No.
Don't ever sign anything unless they give you a copy, everybody. Don't ever sign anything unless they give you a copy. And if you have to ask for the supervisor, ask for the supervisor. They have to give it to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then so my question, does it looks bad or what does it look for you?
It looks real bad. It looks real bad.
Wow.
You have no proof of a shared life in South Africa. You have no proof of a shared life in Denver other than one tax transcript. That's all you got.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Has she become a citizen?
Yes, she is.
That's interesting. How long ago?
I think like 3 years ago.
Different field office?
I think the same field office. I even asked the officer that if you go, I know you have access to that. You can check. You can see that it. And I have the statement from my ex that she wrote one day to the police that we were married. That it was in 2017. That we were married in 2009. So I have the statement from the lady.
But you said you got married in 2010 or 2013, so that doesn't even match.
We got married in 2010, but we got the marriage certificate in 2013.
Okay. So in answer to your question, I would say the citizenship case is not going to be approved. And I think there's a 50-50 chance they'll come after your green card. Because you know what? Just for you and everybody else, Denver don't play. Denver don't play. It's a hardcore office. They're looking to take people's green cards. I've gotten in many fights in that place. If you want to see one of my epic meltdowns of all time, just look for Denver on our YouTube channel. I don't think this is good, and I think there's a good argument to be made that perhaps you should withdraw this N400 so that they forget about it and maybe don't come after your green card.
Okay, should I do that?
I'm not telling you that. You have to decide that. But if you want to ask me, Jim, what do you think my chances are of becoming a U.S. citizen? Less than 5%. Chances of me losing my green card if I keep going? 35%.
Okay, so if I withdraw the case, they will forget about it. They won't make any decision on it.
Maybe. If you're lucky. They don't have to let you withdraw the case.
Okay. Okay, I'm one of your clients. Andrew is handling my case.
Okay.
So I have an appointment with him tomorrow, so I'll talk to him and see what's going to tell me.
I'll talk to him too.
Okay, thank you.
All right. See ya. Note to everybody else, if you're a client of the firm, don't come on the show and ask questions. You're talking about your case in public when you could talk in private. I'm always happy to talk to a current client. There's no reason to talk about it on the show. But what are you going to do? All right. Asfar's here. Hello, Asfar. How you doing, buddy?
Good, Jim. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
I was with you, I think, a month or so. Gave my little bit of introduction on being a U.S. citizen. So I've applied, and I think a couple of days ago, I heard you. Someone else was asking about the N600 and the proof of kids' residency. So my daughter, I applied for my daughter for N600, and I mean it's waiting. And surprisingly, I chatted with Emma through the live agent, and they said, well, since 30th of August, the officer has requested a biometrics for a 9-year-old daughter. Which was kind of surprising for me, but it has not been scheduled yet. So is it something common?
No, that's very unusual, but maybe they don't know she's 9.
Yeah, I mean, probably. All right. So with our last discussion, I was gonna apply for her passport. I mean, just in case. So I just wanted to ask if this is like concurrently with N600 in process. Can we file for passport for her?
Yes, but sometimes you need the naturalization certificate for both applications. That's the only problem. But yeah, you don't have to wait. They're 2 different agencies. They handle them separately.
Okay. And I've heard that they can just take and send back her green card, I guess, back to USCIS. So whenever the certificate of citizenship.
No, don't send it back. When the N600 is approved, there'll actually be a little ceremony. It's not like a naturalization ceremony, but it's a little ceremony where you come down and drop off your green card and pick up your certificate.
And for example, if the passport application guys just took her green card, I mean, what am I gonna say to the oath ceremony or whatever that ceremony?
You should not send your green card to the passport people.
Okay.
Different agency.
Makes sense. All right, Jim. One last question. So for I-485, I'm gonna be applying for since I'm a U.S. citizen, I'm gonna be applying for my mother, a widow mother, and it's still a long way to go. But I just saw in public charge addition to the I-485. Does Medicaid is it considered public charge, or is it just the TANF and SSI? Are those considered public charge?
I think Medicaid is considered public charge.
Okay. All right. And since my mother will be living with me, would she, on her I-485, would she be putting in household size and including me as, right?
I don't know, man. I don't fill out that thing.
Okay. All right, Jim. Thank you.
Bye, Asfar. See you, buddy.
Bye.
Jonathan's here. Abdu, I'll get to you next. Hi, Jonathan.
Hey, Jim. Another drugged up lawyer. How are you?
I'm good. Just what everybody wants, a drugged up lawyer with blurry vision.
Absolutely. Couple of quick questions. I'll try and make them quick anyway. So first of all, I got an RFE on my case, and they've asked me to send proof that that the marriage ended to somebody I was never married to. So I've got 2 children, 2 different moms. Both of them was religious marriage, religious divorce, but only one of them we did the legal marriage, legal divorce. And I've double checked on the forms, and I put number of times been married to, including my current spouse, and I listed my previous spouse. I never listed the religious marriage. So first of all, what do I send to them? Or do I send a copy of the religious bill of divorce? How do I respond to that?
Well, my understanding is there are ways that religious marriages can count as marriages for immigration purposes. So you would need to research the rules for your country. You'd have to look at the reciprocity table, see what they recognize as a marriage, and then
So
go from there.
if it helps, it was in the US. I got married in New York.
Just
The religious marriage was in New York.
Yeah, so then I wouldn't send them the documentation of the religious ceremony. I don't think. I'd have to think this through. I probably wouldn't. I would just walk them through how these were religious marriages and not. But again, I might consider spending some time looking into whether that's valid for immigration purposes. I don't think generally it is. You know, I say it all the time, but they like to twist things on people and use it both ways. Like if you were relying on that to get an I-130 approved, they would say, "Oh, hell no." But when you're trying to use it and say that wasn't a marriage, then they're like, "Oh yeah, it was."
Right. So I need to do the research and then potentially just send them a breakdown of the fact that I had a religious ceremony then. We religiously got divorced then, but no documentation. It's just a statement from me, effectively.
I mean, if you have a religious divorce and a religious marriage, I might send it in, but I just want to think that all through before I agreed to that.
Okay, thank you. The other question is on the ESTA application. There's a question which is, have you ever stayed in the United States longer than the admission period granted to you by the US government? So where somebody has applied for an I-130, I-485, leaves the country and they've abandoned their I-485. If they were here more than 90 days when they left, they were in status when they filed, but then they've been here longer than 90 days. Once they abandon the I-485, does it revert to the status of when they entered? So is the answer to that yes, or is it no? Did they ever overstay?
Read me the question one more time.
Have you ever stayed in the United States longer than the admission period granted to you by the US government?
That's yes.
So that's yes, even if you filed an I-485 before.
You can explain all that, but it's still the answer to the question as written is yes.
Okay, so I might have screwed up because my daughter decided to leave in the end. We spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. She had to go abroad for a study program, so she left. But before she left, I said, "Let's apply for an ESTA." And I was in the airport, and I was like, I couldn't take any advice. I just didn't want to say. I didn't want her to have been out of status if she didn't have to be, and then have a problem with that question.
That's a different question. Whether she was ever in status is a totally different question. What the purpose of that question is to figure out if you've done anything that's inconsistent with the ESTA, i.e. a temporary visit for 90 days. So right. the simple act of filing an I-130 and a 485 and staying 91st day renders that question a yes. Now, whether that's unlawful presence or overstay, that's a different question. But the answer to the question as written is supposed to be yes.
Okay, so it has been written as no and submitted. Is that likely to cause problems later with green card and immigration?
I would say so. You mean
like a major problem, or it can be explained and she'll get
you watch this show. You know how they do. You know how they use things against you and say that was a misrep. I think it might be a problem.
A problem that can be dealt with.
She might need a waiver. Hopefully not. Hopefully she won't need a waiver, but it's possible, and that's a big old can of worms.
Okay, final question, if you don't mind. They asked me for a police clearance records for the last 5 years. Is that for the time outside the US, or I've been living here for 18 months? I need to go to my local police station or Florida government.
Just outside the US, yeah.
Just outside the US. Okay, amazing. Thank you so much.
Bye, Jonathan. See you, buddy.
Bye. Thanks.
You got it. All right. Now we'll go to Abdu. What do you say, Abdu?
Thank you so much, Mr. Jim. I appreciate it. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
So, quick question. Back in February of this year, my wife and I applied for, the full package. I-130, travel document, I-485, the work document. So 2 weeks ago, we got the combo card.
Who's the U.S. citizen?
My wife.
Okay.
I am the beneficiary.
How did you enter?
F1. And now I'm currently still under STEM OPT, so I'm still in status. And my STEM OPT got 2 more years. But the thing, as I said, 2 weeks ago, we got the combo card. And along with that, we got the I-130 approval. So today we opened the mailbox and we see the I-130 approval, and what it says, it's been approved. However, you did not indicate on the petition whether the beneficiary intends to apply for an immigrant visa. So the USCIS therefore has retained the petition. So although we applied for the I-485, but it seems they are scrambled, they don't see that.
Did you file the 485 separately from the I-130?
No, they all together, they all in one package.
Idiots. Okay.
So what should I do at this point?
What did it say to do?
So it says, like, I'm having now the note in front of me. It says, if the beneficiary intends to apply for adjustment of status in the US, they should submit a copy of this notice along with the Form I-485. They can obtain Form I-485 through like the USCIS website or by calling this number, whatever. So they're talking in a way like we never submitted the I-485. They don't say like, or...
You have a receipt notice for the 45?
Yes, 100%.
And they both have the same priority date?
Yep.
So I would send both of those to USCIS, and then I would start calling them every day until you get somebody who's intelligent and can figure out how dumb they are.
So to send them where? Do you mean to send them to the national?
Send them to the address where the 45 is pending, or the address on the or both, and try to figure out where the case is pending if it's been transferred, and send it to the address on the receipt notice for the 45.
Okay, because the receipt notice of the 485 is coming from the National Benefit Center in Missouri, but when I talked to them over like the past 7 months, they said like the one who's handling your case is Columbus, Ohio, where I live. So do you think, should I send it to Columbus or should I send it to both?
And on the 45, on the I-130, did you say that you were going to adjust? Did you say that you're going to adjust here?
Yeah, of course. We filled the I-130 and we said that we're going to adjust. And then along with that, we filled the I-485 and we sent everything together, like full package.
Sounds good.
So that means the next step, I should send like the Ohio field office in Columbus, Ohio, and the one in Missouri, both like the priority date.
The I-130 receipt notice, the I-130 approval notice, and the I-485 receipt notice.
To both field offices.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you so much, Jim. I appreciate it.
Bye, Abdu. Good luck, buddy. All right. Fafa is here. What do you say, Fafa? Oh, Fafa, your audio's crackling. I don't know why. Something's up with your audio. Okay. In the meantime, if you have a minute, everybody, go ahead and leave us a quick review. It just takes a minute while Fafa's getting her audio squared away. Just go to reviewhackinglaw.com or find us on Google. Either one is just fine. I hope you all have good plans. What's today? Wednesday? For the rest of the week. I think I'm going to the Cardinal game tomorrow, so that should be fun. So I think we don't have a show tomorrow, right, Huli? Next show's on Friday. Oh, 4 Central? Yeah, that's not going to happen. Next show is going to be on Friday. Sorry, Huli. Next show will be Friday. So tomorrow we won't have a show, nor has a game at 4 o'clock. I should have taken that off. Sorry, everybody. So next show will be on Friday at 4 o'clock, I think. Yeah, at 4 o'clock on Friday will be our next show. Oh, Marembo likes the show. Oh, Fafa left. All right. Well, our old friend Mo's here. Hello, Mo.
Hey, can you hear me?
How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Can you hear me?
I hear you just fine.
Okay, good. Hey, I haven't talked to you in a long time.
How's your case going?
So it's still currently being reviewed, whatever.
And this is an overseas case, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good. Yep.
I'm confused about, I'm hoping, well, first of all, I have kind of a generic question. Do you think that it's unfair, it's been bugging me, that a petitioner, an I-130 marriage petition, that the person can apply for citizenship after 3 years and a parent of a U.S. citizen cannot? That seems a little unfair to me because to me, parent-child is more of a permanent relationship, whereas people can get divorced, right? This is just sort of
I don't know. I never really thought about it.
It should be at least the same, I think, in my opinion. But anyway.
Yeah. I can see it both ways.
Okay, cool. All right. My question is this: the F2A category that my case is under was current for a long time, and of course now it's not current.
Yeah. Now you want to talk about what's really not fair? Go ahead. Yeah.
Right. The date is February 2019, I guess it is. What is the table on the top in the VISTA bulletin? What does that mean compared to the bottom? I don't get what that means.
Okay,
I heard you yesterday. I still watch you every day, by the way.
Thank you.
But what does that mean? The bottom table is different. The date on there, and September 1st, I think it says. Is that the cases that they're working on, or what is that?
So I'm going to pull it up while
Yeah.
we're here talking. It's going to take a minute because the visa bulletin. I should pull it up before the show.
Just have it.
It takes, because people always ask, and it takes a while to load. Okie doke. So, for everyone who's out there, if you're not the child of a U.S. citizen under 21, the spouse of a U.S. citizen, or the parent of a U.S. citizen, then you're not an immediate relative. And if you're not an immediate relative, that means that there's a cap on the number of people in your visa category who are allowed to come to the United States every year on a per country basis, right?
Right.
So, and that's what gives rise to preference category. So what Mo's asking about is Mo's sponsoring his spouse for an F2A immigrant visa application.
Because
right?
I'm just a resident.
Yeah. So how long till you can become? Oh, this is why you're mad about the 3 year and the 5 year.
Right.
I got it. Because you got your green card through your kid.
Right. Exactly.
Got it. Okay. All right. So in the visa bulletin, the visa bulletin comes out every month, and it tells everybody who's not an immediate relative how much longer they need to wait. Now, for those of you who also don't know, up until about 6 months ago, for the I don't know, 6 or 7 years before that, if my memory is correct,
Yeah, that's about right.
the spouses of green card holders were coming just as fast as the spouses of citizens, and that's because they were undersubscribed. There weren't more people asking for an immigrant visa for their green card holding spouse than there were available for that country. So because of that, there was a backlog, and then there was also a big retrogression, which means it jumped back 3 or 4 years, like Mo said, to 2019. And so now people in Mo's spouse's position have to check the visa bulletin every month and say, what in the hell is going on? So in my mind, Mo, the way that I think about it is there's the dates for filing the family-sponsored visa application, right? And then
Which is the day that the visa becomes available?
No, the final, that's the day the visa becomes available, so they can continue processing, right?
Okay.
So usually I only think about B so much when the individual is in the United States.
Oh.
So if the individual's if your spouse was in the United States, then you would, because you're not a citizen yet, you would have to file what's called a standalone I-130. You would not be eligible to file the 485 with, and I probably should have asked this last guy about that. I assume his spouse is a U.S. citizen, but you would file the I-130 by itself, and it would process. And then if your spouse was in the United States and maintained their status, they had some kind of other status up until the time their visa became available, which is what's here under the dates for filing the family application, then they would be able to file for adjustment, right? So this one, it's actually pretty current. It's only a month back, but last month it was more than that. So there were new visas that became available at the start of the fiscal year, which is October 1st. So the other way that this would impact you is because that's when, if your I-130 had been approved, has your I-130 been approved?
No, it says 2 months.
Yeah,
it's been almost 2 years.
Yeah, if your I-130 had been approved, then once this F2A number becomes current, then you could start processing at the National Visa Center.
Oh.
But then when we go up here for the final action dates, that's 2019. That means that people who filed their cases in 2019, now they can actually get the visa.
Right.
They can actually have final action taken on their case. So even if NVC process everything, even if the embassy process everything, if that date's not current, i.e., if your priority date isn't before that date, then they can't give you the visa.
Now, I'm March 2022, my date here.
Yeah.
This doesn't advance with the calendar. What I'm saying is next month it could be June or July or something. It's not month to month. It doesn't mean I have to wait 4 years, 3 years.
But probably.
It
could be more, could be less.
Right. Okay. But it doesn't advance. What I'm saying is this is.
You're right. It doesn't. It's not an apples for apples.
Right. Okay. That's what I was asking. Okay. Perfect. I'm still in July. I just have I've had my green card for 2 years, so I still need another 3 years, I guess, before I can.
That still might prove to be the tipping point on when your spouse gets to come, because then if they become a citizen, then they immediately become an immediate relative, and then all that preference shit goes out the door, and then it's just a matter of getting them to pay attention to the fact.
And at that point, it's from an ESTA country, right? So they could come on a NESTA and potentially adjust here, right?
As long as they didn't have immigrant intent when they came.
Right. I have to convince them to stay after they're here. Okay. I think that's it, Jim. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Bye, Mo. It's confusing. See you, buddy.
It is. I get to see Messi in a couple of weeks, and so I'm excited about that.
I'm so mad about that. But STL City's playing in Minnesota this weekend, and I'm going to see my son, so we're going to see them on Saturday. So
that's nice.
Yep. Bye, Mo.
Thanks. Bye.
See ya. All right. Same's here. Hi, Same.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing? I'm glad one of us dressed up for today. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm at my office, so work. So first of all, I want to thank you for your videos. Like I benefited from one of your videos. You said it's about having an attorney in the interview.
Mm-hmm.
Because I saw many videos. Some said that they're useless, but you said something. You said if you pause for a moment and say, do I need an attorney there? And if you have a doubt, then you need an attorney there. And I had an attorney with me, and he actually helped. He first of all, he broke the ice. That's the first thing that he did.
Which is funny because that's what I always say. I said, I'm just there to tell jokes and make sure everybody understands each other. That's exactly what I say about what my job is. I mean, obviously I'm there to do more if I need to, but that's great.
He broke the ice, and he answered a question, like a legal question, that saved me weeks of explanation of paperwork.
Do you remember?
Just right there, he explained what was it.
Do you remember what the question was or what it was about?
Yeah, actually, it was about a violation.
Mm-hmm.
So it was named in the report that she had, different than what on the paper that I had.
And the lawyer was
the paper that she had.
Yeah.
It was like objection of like police something. So it seemed like really big, and she needed explanation. But he explained it to it because it was on the same date of the violation that we had on paper. It's the same. They just named it something else. So that saved a lot of time and money and things. So thank you for that.
Sure.
So my question is that it was a naturalization interview, and it went well. So I became a U.S. citizen. Well, not yet. After the oath ceremony next week.
Nice.
My question is, my wife is overseas, and we filed I-130 in 2021.
Yeah, where's the case? Where's that case pending right now?
It's pending now, right now. Yes.
At USCIS or the NBC or what?
USCIS, California. And I checked their website. It says 32 months. But I know that now I can send a letter to upgrade the I-130.
Right.
So my question is, how long would it take now?
What's the receipt date?
August 21.
Oh wow, yeah, that should upgrade it pretty quickly, I would think.
Like I look at their website, the processing time for California is 14 months. Will the 14 months start from 21 or from now?
I mean, the first thing we have to remember is it's sort of hard to get them to pay attention to the fact that you became a citizen, even though they're the ones who made you a citizen, right?
Yeah.
So it seems sort of crazy, but you might have to send that letter like 3 times to get them to understand.
Okay.
So, but once they do, it should be pretty quick because they should, I mean, you know, I'm not a big believer in getting members of Congress involved, but once you've notified them that you're a U.S. citizen, then that's the one kind of thing that you might want. I mean, the other thing is, if you really get stuck, we can sue them and that'll get their attention, because the whole thing about suing is trying to get a higher level person to pay attention. And the real trick in this is getting them to pay attention to the fact that you're a U.S. citizen. So,
okay,
so
that was actually, you read minds. That was actually my second question. So if there is a delay, when will be the deadline for us to like sue them?
30 days after you send them the letter, as far as I'm concerned. You're at 2 years. That's plenty.
Okay.
Plus, California is really good when we sue them. They don't mess around. They just get to work. They just get to work.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much. Very much. Those are my 2 questions. Thank you.
Congratulations. Send us a picture when you get your citizenship.
I will. Thank you very much.
See you, buddy. All right. Looks like Fafa's back. Let's see if we can get her on. I got 5 minutes left. Fafa, how you doing?
Can you hear me?
You sound great.
Perfect. All right, Jim. So I actually applied for my dad's green card back in 2017. So I applied for his green card in spring 2017. He's from Iran, so we don't have an embassy there. He got his interview in Abu Dhabi, and he was interviewed in September 2017. Ever since then, his case has been in the administrative processing.
Military?
No.
None?
No. He was at the king's time. He was in the military because it's a forced thing that you need to do in Iran. But
the king's time, that's before the Shah. The king's before the Shah.
Shah's time.
Shah's the king. Okay. Yeah. Was he like a low-level military person or a high-level military?
Yeah, no, not high level.
Did anything unusual happen at his interview in Abu Dhabi?
No, and they didn't ask for any extra documents. And he I put him as retired. He's been retired. I applied for my mom a couple of months after that. My mom got her green card. Although they both fell into that Trump administration, ban on Muslims.
Yeah.
However, she got hers in 2020, and he's been stuck in the administrative processing ever since. I've updated his files and asked multiple times if they need additional documents. I have contacted White House senators, all that, and nothing has changed.
Fafa, when did you file the I-130 originally?
2017, spring.
And when was his interview at the embassy?
September 2017.
Yeah, let's sue him. We got to sue him. That's the only thing it might not work. They might give him a denial, but the only thing that's going to get him to move is to sue them.
And do you think if they deny him, there is a chance to reapply through my mom, or?
Yeah, you can. I mean, it depends on what the basis of the denial is, and they might not even tell us. But I think the best. This is a very severe delay. You're talking 6 years. I mean, part of that's on Trump, but we don't care about that. That's just, you're just trying to get your dad here. 6 years is a really long time. I don't think they're going to mess around with it. They're going to tell us what's what.
Okay. And just one more question, Jim.
Sure.
If we sue, do you think that would, just in case they deny him and then we have to reapply or something, that's going to start him on a bad foot or something? You
mean, do I think they hold it against you for suing them? No, I don't think the people who are deciding even know that we've been sued. But if so, they're being sued so much right now, they're sort of used to it, and that nobody takes it personally. I'm not asking for them to be fired. I'm not asking for them to give us money. I'm just asking them to do their job. So I've sued them 1,600 times, and I've never felt like they treated my client unfairly because we sued them.
Okay.
I don't know why. I'd be mad if I were them, but they don't get mad.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 6 years, and I have done every possible thing I could.
What else could you do?
Okay. All right. So I contact your office to.
It'd be great. Yeah, just say I'm Fafa. I was the last one on the show on Wednesday, and I want to sue to get my dad here.
All right. Thank you so much, Jim, for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks for fixing your mic. Bye, Fafa.
Bye.
See ya. All right, everybody. That'll do it for today's show. Like I said, we'll be back on Friday at 4 p.m. Sorry about that, Huli. Hope you all have a great night. I'm off to Nora's softball game. Peace out. Bye, everybody.